What to do, Aereheads? Air here, back for your Monday update. It is the 14th of August. We're halfway through August. Summer's winding down. Bitcoin's moving today. We finally got some movement. This weekend was rough. It was incredibly boring. I think one day we had like a 0.13% day. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember. Barely looked at the charts this weekend. It was so boring. Except for a few alt plays. We're going to dissect some alts today. We're going to dissect Bitcoin as always. Bitcoin running up about 1% today. Filled a couple of the fair value gaps. We got another one forming right here. Liquidity above us, 27,900, 29,800, and then 30,000. Are we going to hit 30,000 today? If we do, you know, as long as liquidity doesn't move, which it could, we're probably going to get a bounce down. Now, we're going to check it out. We're going to see if the momentum is there, if it's strong enough. You know, we got liquidity below us, really, again, starting at about 29,200 down to 29,000. And then there's a bunch below us, 29,880, 29,480, 28,480, I should say. And then 28,920-ish, 28,900-ish. There's a lot below us, guys. So we got a lot that could happen today. And look at 31,000 up here, just sitting up there, ready to be picked. Is the momentum back? Are we getting some more activity? We're going to dive into it and take a look at it. On top of that, we do have some news today. SBF jail. He's in jail ahead of his trial. We have Trump holding $500,000, $500,000 in Ethereum. We're going to take a look at what's going on in the economic calendar this week before we get you caught up on all the coins. We're going to try to find some alt plays today, and then we're also going to backtest some of the plays I made last week. Spoiler alert, they're playing out. So I hope you guys are paying attention. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. And last but not least, hop in Discord, discord.gg/Alpha Aere. That's where we're making all the calls. Appreciate you guys. Let's just jump right into it. So starting it off with a couple news pieces. So SBF is in jail ahead of trial. He was accused of leaking former Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison's diary. We covered that here to the New York Times. So a judge revoked SBF's bond on Friday, sending him directly to jail ahead of his trial, which starts in October. SBF faces 7 different charges tied to the collapse of FTX, including wire, commodities, and securities fraud. So he is back in jail. So Bankman-Fried is willing to risk crossing the line in an effort to get right up to the line, wherever it is, said Judge Kaplan. All things considered, I'm going to revoke bail. My conclusion is there is probable cause to believe that the defendant has tampered with witnesses at least twice. There is a reputable presumption that there is no set conditions that will ensure SBF will not be a danger. So he's been tampering with witnesses. Judges tossed the bail. So Trump, a few years ago, when he was at, the last election, the original, anyways, he said some bad things about crypto. He was calling it a scam, this, that, and the other. And now he's come around. He's launched a couple NFTs, and he's holding up to 500K in crypto. So he launched an NFT series last year, Trump cards. He holds up to 500K, $500,000 in an Ethereum wallet. This coming from a recently released filing to the U.S. government ethics office. Trump, who is running again in 2024, has been a long-standing crypto skeptic. However, they're saying here he's released an NFT, kind of coming around to it. Filing showed he'd made between $500,000 to $1 million from this deal. And then they just go on to say he's far ahead in the national polling. What do you guys think below? PayPal launching a new hub. It's going to allow users to convert their PayUSD, right, or PYUSD, their stablecoin, to Bitcoin and other Ethereum and other cryptos. It will act as a gateway for users to pay for goods and services using their stable coin. So you can only use your cryptocurrencies hub as part of your balance account by accessing it through your personal PayPal account. It's talking about Hawaii residents, some other stuff too. So they're rolling this out. I'm good on using PayPal, anything crypto, but I guess, it's an easy way for people who aren't in crypto to maybe make that first leap. So I guess it's bullish. For the economic calendar this week, guys, there ain't nothing going on today. Tomorrow we get retail sales, depending if they're under or over expectations, they could move the market, especially if they're bad, or if they're good. I mean, it could move the markets either way. We get import prices as well. A couple Fed speeches, 10 o'clock in the morning. This is Eastern Standard Time. On Wednesday, we get mortgage applications, MBA 30-year mortgage rate, housing starts, building permits. Let's see how the housing market is doing. And then 1 p.m. Eastern, we get the FOMC minutes. That could move markets as well, depending on what's in those, right? This is the notes from the previous FOMC meeting. On Thursday, we get jobless claims. Could or could not move markets, but depending on it, that's pretty much it, guys, for this week. So not a lot going on, but there's a few gems in there, and this is linked down below too. You need to bookmark this just so you know. Plus, they give you the forecast, the consensus, the previous, and then the actual on here as well. It's a pretty cool economic calendar. You can also customize this for China or the UK. I mostly just have the US on here, but you can put other countries in there as well. Checking in on Bitcoin, guys. So we're getting a reversal signal. It's starting to show from Market Cipher, this blue triangle here. We got a Lux Algo golden. I mean, it's looking good. I mean, we're bouncing off of the simple moving average. We got a green dot print on Market Cipher B. Money flow has been there, even though people were taking profits and we were chopping sideways. It was just the VWAP was just kind of flopping back and forth on those 4-hour-ish time frames over the weekend. Stokes RSI is heading up again. That green dot. So it's looking good. I mean, the daily's finally looking good. It would be great to get back up to 30,000. You can see there is some liquidity up there, 29.8 to 30,000. Pretty strong, but daily looks good. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, we're finally back above the moving averages. So we're bullish. We're back in bullish posture, at least for now. RSI above the simple moving average. VWAP, it's just continuously going up. However, I don't want to see one of these happen, but money flow is starting to break here, starting to kind of come up. Stokes RSI is heading up. Green dot printed this, actually printed last night at about 11 o'clock Central Time, and just been working on that, off that since. So you can see it was kind of a boring weekend. I mean, all the moving averages just kind of converged on each other. And then we got that lift here this morning. We got that injection of funds. We got people kind of getting excited back into the market. And, we're starting to see the separation in the moving averages, the 21, the 50, 100 above the 200, which is bullish, right? So the hourly chart looks the bullish of them all. So, I mean, all the way from the daily down to the hourly right now, it's looking good. So I'm bullish on this. So I'm going to continue to watch things like the VWAP, the money flow on these smaller time frames, and then continue to watch liquidity. But more important than that, I'm watching today what the whales are doing. I'm watching this is the spot CVDs and buckets, right? You can see it's largely been pretty buy side heavy this morning. This is, I believe, the 5-minute chart. Yes, you can see here, it's been kind of picking up since. A little bit of a downside right now. Let's take a look at perps have been up too. I mean, you can see here the perps have been picking up this morning as well. Looks like people are just longing the hell out of this right now. Volume picked up this morning. You can see down behind me. This is the volume down here. So it's looking good, guys. I mean, lots of longs flying in here this morning. Market orders, 100K plus, large orders. TWAP orders were kind of negative for a while, but it doesn't matter because both spots and perps are trending upwards, as you can see here by the CVDs. The biggest resistance right now is that 29.8. If we crash through that, we're for sure going to $30,000 today. We should, unless these orders get pulled or the momentum is very strong, get a bounce down off of this, unless the buys, the spots, the perps, and the volume and everything there remains consistent. How do you check that? Well, very simple. So you can look at any volume indicator, right? I mean, I use Kingfisher mostly. You can use Velo. You can use a lot of stuff. I mean, you can see here the open interest is rising. People are getting excited about this right now. The spot volume picked up after a very, very slow weekend. This is an hourly chart here, as well as down here. There was some liquidations this morning, or actually that was on the 13th. So that was yesterday when we kind of dipped down. That was that descending triangle we were in. I said in Discord that, I made that play, scalped that, broke down, got out of it, hit my stop loss in the profit, and then we kind of just took off. So I guess the market was waiting for that kind of breakout to the downside before we pounced up. And let me tell you guys, we needed this bounce today because we were right at this year-long trend line. So there you go. There's that year-long trend line all the way from January 1st to today. We were right at it. If we lost that, that would have been ugly. But if you remember all the videos from last week, we've been in a descending wedge for a while now. Is this the breakout we've been waiting for? We'll have to see. Where's it going to fizzle out? 30K, 28.9, or 29.8, 30K are going to be the big test for us. If that happens, hopefully we can kind of come back up and form a range back into this where we were previously, that kind of $30,000 to $31,000 range, retesting 31,500. Let's see if we can break out. Remember, even though we're at a 3-year low on spot volume, we don't need retail FOMO to take us up to 32, 33, 34K, and much higher than that into the 40s and 50s. We really don't need them either. But I don't see that happening until we get some spot ETF news. And as you know, that got delayed because the first one due for an answer was ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, right? And the SEC, I believe on Friday or Saturday, went to them and said, we need more information. So they delayed it again. But very important here that we bounced off of this. Again, above on the daily, above all the moving averages still. They were starting to kind of converge at 21 and 50 there. So we bounced off of those. So looking pretty good so far. And we talked about it before the move. Today we said walls are still up. 29.5 is heavier now. Hopefully we get a liquidity test for an entry. We did. It went for it. It went for that liquidity. I mean, that's the thing. Monday morning you see a thick line of liquidity come in. That's your alert right there, right? That's where you know that, hey, that's kind of what the market is looking for right now. Let's chase it, and we did. And called some other plays, some fair value gaps that played out today as well. But really what I'm going to do now is turn my attention to altcoins. So in Discord, I have this Air Alt TA channel, where is one where you guys can kind of TA where I talk into. And I've been tossing out just some absolute gems in here, right? I've been tossing out some absolute monster plays that have been playing out. I've been making a freaking killing. Live here we've been talking about Blizz, and these are all ton. Flag broke down, coming up against support now, lose it, and we're going further down. Channel holding up on BNB. I called this with the bricks, Soul, Cup and Handle, 23% win here, right? This was that RUNE play. By the way, I've been talking about RUNE before the huge breakout. I've been talking about Thorchain for a while now. So if you're listening and paying attention and backtesting what I'm saying and taking these wins with me, congratulations. Larger cup and handle played out on RUNE. We talked about that. Just all of these. I'm telling you right now, I am bragging. I'm patting myself on the back. This is awesome. When you get to a point in TA where you can look at a chart, find things, and you're confident enough because you're finding confluence and they play out exactly how you say they are, you should pat yourself on the back. This shit's not easy. Retrace 40% of the SEC pump on XRPs. So lots of plays here. So what I want to do is look at some of these and, just kind of TA them a little bit. SHIB, we talked about, Colin SHIB. If you want to join on in, it's free right now, guys. The first 100 people that join the Discord are going to be grandfathered in. 100 active people are going to be grandfathered into any type of pay gate I do in the future. It's an incentive. There's people out here who are charging hundreds or $500, $600, $4,000 for a course to teach you this stuff. I'm doing it for free right now, so take advantage of it. Hop on in. Worst case scenario, it's not for you. Leave. No harm, no foul. But I'm telling you, you should take advantage of this right now. Discord.gg/Alpha Aere. But let's jump in. Let's look at some alts here. We talked about BLZ and it pumped up. We're coming up against steep, stiff resistance right now. So this is the play. Until we can flip this kind of 9303 or 0.09303-ish level, which was, resistance here, support and resistance, flipping back and forth here. Until we can flip that, I'm not confident saying buy more, because if we can't flip this, you're going to see people take profits because it ran up, right? It ran up huge, 70%. So if you're a part of that, congratulations. If not, that's okay. We'll find some other ones. But I just wanted to get that out there. We've been talking about ton too, right? Got that. We talked about this when it was in the cup and the handle, right? And then they broke out up 16, 17% since then. And you guys got to remember too, You don't have to trade futures. Everyone always seems to think you have to trade futures. Sit on some USDT, put it into a coin that you think is going to explode, like we did with Ton, make 20%, put it back into USDT when you come up against resistance. It's that simple. But looking for a double top around $1.50, $1.52 to $1.490. And look, this is going to be that resistance zone for Ton, right? This is zone in here, and you can see why. Previous resistance, you know, previous support here. But if we, I mean, just look, right? If we can get it, if we can flip this, it's going to be up. It's going to be up only. You're going to start to see these moving averages start ticking upwards, and then they're going to pass this 200 and it's going to be bullish. So for now, we need to just kind of, I would urge caution at this level. Take profits. If you were on this rise up, always take profits, pay yourself out. But, you know, next move here is to kind of flip this zone to support and then build up off of it. Because if we can't, we're coming back down. Let's get into Thorchain or RUNE real quick for you here. So, well, like we mentioned earlier, I mean, it's just been playing out beautifully of how I've said. Coming up against resistance right now, and you can see why it's resistance. So resistance a bunch right here when we initially lost it, retested it a bunch, lost it, kind of just fell out. Got hung up here, lost it here, retested it, right? Kept on retesting it. Finally, we won. You know, here, lost it, right? Going back here, we can go all the way back to here. So pretty stiff, pretty strong historical resistance. Let's flip this to support and then continue up. Till then, again, just don't know that it's a good time right now to enter. Till we get confirmation that this has been flipped, right? And then we're going up. Then we're going up hard. So to show you an example of that, right? So we had this top. This is Moon. It topped. So Moon hit its top here. I said, you know, we need to flip this or it's going to go down. And that's exactly what happened with Moon. So that's why these, when you come up against these strong resistances like this, you got to kind of wait. First of all, you should take profit because everyone else is taking profit. And then, you know, you kind of work in your double top if it gets failed, and usually you kind of come back down. So this is still technically could be a bull flag. So I wouldn't count it out yet on Moons. I mean, it's definitely towards the bottom of that channel. We start losing it, and then we're probably going to retest. Maybe come on down here, grab this liquidity down at about 35 cents, somewhere around there. But that's just kind of piggybacking off of the RUNE, the previous one that I showed you. That's why it's important to wait and not jump the gun, right? So KAS, you gotta love it. Played out exactly like I said. We had that shoulder, head, and shoulders. It wasn't pretty, but you know, you had that rounded top, and it came exactly to where I said it would. So you can see why I picked there, right? So you got that kind of uptick here, you got this here, and then we made it, and then we kind of bounced up over to Friday evening into Saturday, and then kind of lost it again. So we're retesting it right now. If this is a bullish retest, meaning that we bounce up, I would expect us to retest this top up here, you know, about 50 cents, somewhere around there, right? If it's a bearish retest, you know, this is a 4-hour chart, I would expect us to come back down and hopefully get a bounce off this 200 moving average. I mean, it looks like it's going to start losing it right now. It hasn't quite lost it yet, right? Hasn't quite lost it yet, but that's what I would expect on KAS right now. RNDR, potential bull flag playing out right now. We're still within the flag 4-hour chart. I mean, we're all above the simple moving average. Momentum wave is there. VWAP's up, still working off of a green dot. Money flow is still there. So it still looks good. I mean, we have a potential, right? As long as you play this channel, because that way you're going to be on the winning side of the trade. You know, potential another 5% increase right now on RNDR. That would put us, you know, really up here in this range from back in July, right? Where we kind of couldn't crack it, and you can see that's where we were here. So that's going to be a good retest. I mean, look how that plays out, right? Bull flag takes us right to that level. Again, you get to that level, you need to be taking some profits because this is going to have to be flipped in order to continue up. I'm getting a little worried, a little caution here on DYDX. I mean, we're at pretty stiff resistance, right? I mean, you can see it here. You can see all these candles up in here. We're at it right now. We were at it right here. So, I mean, obviously, it's obvious. I mean, if we flip this, it's going to be super, super bullish. And we're probably going to come up to that 2.48 level. However, you know, ascending wedge or ascending channel, however you want to draw this, they typically break to the downside. It's having a rough day. It's having a struggle against the rest of the market right now. And, you know, could we come back down to $2? It's possible. I mean, it is. So let's take a look at the money flow right now. You can see it's kind of coming back down. So we need to pick up again. Red dot print, Stokes and RSI is coming down. VWAP's coming down. So people are just taking profits at this level. So I could expect another retest to about the $2 level here. However, invalidated if we can flip this 2.21 level to support. If we can hang out up here, we'll probably go up to 2.448. That's a big if right now, but it's possible. Into a little Cardano update. It's been like a solid tradable channel, right? Short, you know, long, short, long, short, long. You know what I mean? This one you would probably been stomped out, right? From your stop loss, but then you would enter on that long again, right? Maybe a short. It's been going down, but it's riding the top of the channel right now. You probably wouldn't have been stomped out yet. So this type of channel typically breaks to the top side. So if we do that, you know, it could be looking at about a 31-cent Cardano again, and boy, does it need it, because it's been kind of trending downward since. So 4-hour chart right now. Let's check out the money flow. Right, it's starting to kind of come back up. So we're making higher lows, right? So there's your low, there's a higher low on the money flow. VWAP's making, you know, higher highs. So it's looking pretty good. And we did get that Stoke to cross over the RSI, which is a bullish cross. So that happened. So typically when that happens, price goes up. You know, you can see here, once they kind of get close, the price tends to rise. But, you know, green dot, I mean, it's looking like AD is going to try to break out today. If it breaks outside of that channel, that's a good place to take a long. I mean, it's just all these moving averages are converged, you know, but they're underneath the 200, which is bearish. If you've been watching my TA series, you know that's bearish. You probably should have taken a short, you know, on this cross right here where that happened, or you could have gone long here, right? Got up into the channel, hit that 200, got out, right? Coincides with the channel. Just checking in on Sol, and that cup and handle that I called out over the weekend is playing out, right? I mean, really, I called this like last week at some point, like the 9th or the 8th or something like that. I mean, cup and handle started to form in, and we're starting to walk it up. I mean, this is going to be stiff resistance here. I mean, you got all this right here, but if we can walk it up, and we're shooting right all the way up there. I mean, we're going to come up $27 Sol. It looks like the momentum is there. This is, again, the 4-hour chart. We just crossed the simple moving average. Money flows there. Coming down a little bit, but ticking back up again. VWAP sharply up. Stokes and RSI coming up. So that's what I expect from Sol right now, pending we can get past this level that we're currently at, right? So we need to flip this 25 to support, and then we're just going to continue up. But that cup and a handle, I'm telling you, these things play out like this as long as the momentum is there. ETH is struggling today. I mean, up 0.6%. It's not struggling, I should say. It needs to have a good day because it's starting to lose the yearly trend line. So was Bitcoin. Bitcoin was close to it. So, I mean, ETH needs to have a good day. Otherwise, it's going to bleed. But, you know, we've got probably like another 1% to get back up into that channel to kind of invalidate this. But it's still bullish posture. I mean, we're still above all the moving averages, but they're starting to converge. So if you remember on Bitcoin, like pretend this was a Bitcoin chart. The 200 moving average is like down here. It's closer. So it's closer to ETH. You know, they're all going to converge here at some point. So if ETH doesn't move soon, you know, we could get that bearish cross. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I got you those key levels on Bitcoin, what to look for. Talked about a lot of coins, albeit briefly today. I kind of showed you some, but look, all the action, all the calls, everything is happening in Discord. So I mean, just hop on in, give me a try. Discord.gg/Alpha Aere. Come and chat, come and hang out, try us out. If you don't like it, leave. No harm done. But if you want to see a coin TA, feel free to drop it in the TA channel down here, or in the comments below, and I'll TA it in tomorrow's video for you. But if you want something sooner, you know, just to compare notes or whatever to your own TA, feel free. Drop it on in Discord, and we will see you guys later.